everyone, it's me, Anthony Coach, a guitarist on YouTube. Today, talking about Van Halen. Obviously, it's in the thumbnail and the title. Now, Van Halen is a band that I don't really know that much about. They were always way too fun for me back when, in my formative years, musically speaking. I was way too serious into the extreme death metal and crazy, just black metal and extreme stuff. Van Halen was always too fun. I was always too miserable, which is, I'm sure, quite surprising with the fluorescent guitars that I own now, but this is all just a big revolt from the goth years. Anyway, I decided to analyse a song by Van Halen for two reasons. Number one, because I know they're really popular and some people might be interested in this stuff, but number two, because you should analyse music that you're unfamiliar with, just to see what you discover. And, well, I've definitely discovered something in this song. I've discovered that the intro to this song, I mean, I know the song a bit, but I stuck it on and I learned this tapping intro that Eddie Van Halen does. And it's just so amazing. Music theory and analysing popular songs never gets boring, because you always discover something. If you're not familiar with the song, it starts off with this amazing drum beat. A bit like Painkiller by Judas Priest, a bit of an iconic intro, drum intro. But then Eddie Van Halen comes in with a tapped intro section that sounds like this. I know it's tough to see what he's doing because David Lee Roth is dancing around in there. You know, David Lee Roth, I always have to try and stop myself from calling him David Hyde Pierce of Frasier fame. That I would pay good money to see the cast of Frasier playing the roles of Van Halen. It's tough to see what he's doing, but that's okay because I've got the notes here, and we're going to talk about how I think this is just jazz. He's playing jazz. I don't know if he knows it, but when he's composed this song, it's just jazz. Let's have a look at why I'm even making this argument. The first arpeggio that he plays is this one. Wait, hang on. Now, during the editing of this video, I realised that the footage that I've used, they're actually in E flat standard, and I didn't notice, and I was in E standard throughout my part of the video. The theory still stands, besides which the original track on the album track is in E standard, so that's why I didn't change it, and because it would have taken too long. So just bear that in mind for the rest of the video. Thanks. What are the notes there? Well, it's an open A, then C, then E, then another A. What is A, C and E? It's an A minor chord. Okay, so far so good. What happens next? Well, in an amazing display of using common tones and voice leading, he doesn't move this finger, but he moves these fingers to play a new arpeggio. He's still got A, but now D and F sharp. Sounds cool, doesn't it? Musically speaking, that could be described as now being a 2-5 chord progression. A minor to D major is chords 2 and 5 in the key of G major. Okay, that's something worth remembering, so I'm going to keep that up at the top there. What happens next? Well, as far as guitar and us as guitarists are concerned, and we think in patterns, we like to do that. We just think of it as going up a string and doing the exact same pattern. With just a little, it ends a bit early. But when we analyse those notes, we've got D, F, A and D. Compared to the top chord, that's just missing the F sharp. He's switched from D major to D minor. Then this chord happens. Oh, this is my favourite shirt. I've just snagged it on my guitar. When he moves up to that second position, he's playing the notes D, G and B, and then another D on top. So again, with that fancy voice leading and using the common tones, he's just gone up to a G chord. So now we've got D minor and G. They're a 2/5 in the key of C major. 2/5 followed by another 2/5 in another key. What happens next? He plays another 2/5, this time up another string, but he's doing them a bit quicker because he's got the notes G, B flat, D with a G on top. Then, just moving up this cool trick that he's got where you switch from chord 2 to 5 by just moving the shape up. He's now got the notes G, C and E. What is that? What's C, E, G on guitar? And on any instrument, it's a C chord. G minor and C is a 2/5 in the key of F. Right. I know he ends with that cool flourish. Whatever he plays there isn't that important. Besides, it's too tricky for me to analyse, so I'm not going to bother. We're going back to these 3 2/5 chord progressions. Because a 2/5, really, a 2/5-1 is the most prevalent chord progression in jazz. Anyone who studies jazz, even at a basic level, that's the first thing that you discover. 2/5s or 2/5-1 chord progressions. So he's got the first one, which is A minor D, then the other one, which is D minor to G, and then the third one, which is G minor C. They happen all the time in jazz. But let's go even further, because not only there's a bit of a coincidence that could have happened here, or Eddie Van Halen could have been really thinking about jazz and key changes, because when we look at the parent keys of those 3, what are they? The G, C and F. G, C and F all appear in order on the circle of fifths if you go backwards, or really the circle of fourths. So either Eddie Van Halen just found something that was cool sounding and moved it up the strings, and a standard guitar tuning is up in fourths for the most part. That's probably likely. Or he really put his thinking cap on and thought, right, I like jazz. I don't know, I'm trying to make a case for this, but now I'm saying it out loud. Maybe not. He thought, I want to sound like Miles Davis. So I want a 2/5 in this key, and then I'm going to go around the circle of fourths and play a 2/5 in that key, and then I'm going to go around the circle of fourths again and play a 2/5 in that key. Who knows? Who knows? It is a common chord progression in jazz. Not only that, but to do the major and minor shift, to play a 2/5 and switch to the minor for the next 2. You know, so he's got A minor D, and then the next 2/5 you switch that to a D minor, then a G7. That is very, very common. So that G chord would then become a G minor chord to the C, like that. Very jazzy, very jazzy. If you want some recommended listening, because I love jazz, just have a listen to Tune Up by Miles Davis. There's a lot of major chords switching to the minor to become chord 2 of the new key. It's always transposing. This song, Hot for Teacher, is always transposing for that intro before it settles on the key of the piece. Okay, Eddie Van Halen, is it jazz? It depends what your definition of jazz is. I don't know. I was just having fun with this one and made a bit of a discovery that it's a bit like a jazz chord progression, and I tried to get a 10-minute video out of it. I think I managed it. Hopefully it was entertaining. Do you have any recommended listening for Van Halen songs? I like what I hear, but they're not for me really. But I'm open. That's the best I can do into it. I'm not bashing them. They're an amazing band. They're just a bit too jolly for miserable old me. So let me know in the comments, what Van Halen songs should I even try? Thank you very much for watching. I have been Anthony Coach, the true Coach Potatoes. You know what to do down in them comments, because we're at the end. Got to let me know. Thank you very much. I will see you in the next video.